Good morning. Welcome to my Facebook Live. It's Anna Rushmer, Hypnotherapy and Wellbeing here. I'm going to talk to you today about my mastermind program called Surviving to Thriving, because I figured I haven't actually spoken about the whole program for quite a while now. So I thought I'd jump on today just to talk to you about that. So what if you could, in the next sort of 3 to 6 months, what if you could move out of this space of feeling, like you're suffering, like you're struggling, like you're stuck in life in some way? What if you could move out of that, that burnout, that desperate kind of feeling that things need to change, perhaps you're, completely exhausted, you're just feeling broken in life. What if you could start to shift that, straight away for yourself? And move into this world of, thriving. So whatever that means for you specifically, whether that means, feeling happy, content, fulfilled, feeling at peace, not having this world of fear that, might be going on for you. For some it may be that you're wanting, financial freedom. You might want to start a new business, and these things that are kind of keeping you stuck are holding you back from moving into this space of thriving. Okay, so just start to kind of have a think, actually, how could your world be different in the next 3 to 6 months if you started working on these things straight away? By Christmas, how different could your life start to feel already? We're only a few weeks away, but how different could it start to feel already? So my program is called Surviving to Thriving, and it's a 4-month mastermind program, which you have a free bonus month with at the moment. So it's actually a 5-month program, but it's for determined women who are in that space of just feeling so fed up with life as it is at the moment, and wanting to move into that space of, life being more. So it's for determined women who are absolutely, absolutely could well be feeling really broken. You could well be feeling really broken, but also you're in that space of, oh my God, life has to be more than this, and I'm determined to make it happen. So this program is for determined women who are wanting to kind of overcome limiting beliefs, and I'll explain limiting beliefs. Hi Cindy. I'll explain limiting beliefs a bit more as we go through, but those are kind of the invisible beliefs that are keeping us stuck in our subconscious mind. I'll explain that a bit more in a moment, but it's for determined women who are wanting to break free, identify first, but break free of those limiting beliefs that will hold you back in life. Heal from trauma. And it may be that already that there's trauma that needs to be healed for you from particular events that may have happened in your life. It may be that you're not really realizing that you're traumatized at the moment as well. But I work with trauma with a lot of my ladies, a lot of my clients, and all of my program has been inspired by my own healing journey, again, which I'll talk about in a little while. But my own experiences of childhood sexual abuse and how how that affected my life. But then this program is all about all of the things that I've learned. Okay, so I started my healing journey 14 years ago, and it's bringing together, my program is bringing together all the stuff that I've learned, all the healing that I've done, so that I can bring that together in one package for women who, sadly may be in a similar position to how I felt. Sorry, that was my phone just pinging. How I felt, back sort of 14 years ago, 2006 kind of world. So imagine what it would be like if you could overcome that fear. I'm just going to see if I can stop that pinging. There we go. Right, sorry about that. Okay, imagine what it would be like if you could overcome this fear of not feeling good enough. Okay, all of these things that I talk about, I can completely relate to back to, you know, where I used to be. But that, you know, maybe it's showing up for you in terms of crazy mum guilt. You know, you love your kids to bits, but you're constantly beating yourself up about, you know, what you're not doing right, when, you know, I can pretty much guarantee, you know, if you're thinking it, you'll be doing the right things. Imagine overcoming this fear of, you know, imposter syndrome, where you're feeling like a fraud at work. You know, the ladies that I work with either have their own businesses already, you know, successful businesses, or are corporate ladies. So they're women that have achieved a lot, you know, already in life, but actually are still beating themselves up over it. So, you know, there's this imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is a big one, and it, you know, it can affect a huge amount of people. Imagine if you could let go, well, firstly identify, but then completely release the subconscious limiting beliefs that may be happening for you. So with our limiting beliefs, they are absolutely going to keep us stuck unless we work with them. And this is where, you know, our symptoms will come from in life. It's where we can't progress with our work. We can't, as much as we may want to. We may feel like there are kind of invisible walls in our way, and, you know, things aren't working out, whether it's work or relationships or, you know, family life. Something's not working, and it will invariably come down to an invisible limiting belief that is stuck in our subconscious. Now, the reason we don't know what's happening within there is that the subconscious runs like an automatic machine. So whatever it's picked up throughout all of our life experiences, it's going to keep running those for us, running those programs for us, as we go through life, unless we actually sort of learn to harness it and clear those blocks out, and then, you know, help our subconscious to work for us, rather than blocking us as we go through life. It's always wanting to do the right thing to protect us, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, something it may have learned when we were 7 years old, for example, is correct for our current day. So that's why I talk about them sort of being invisible. You know, they're going to keep you stuck unless you actually learn to work with them, and working with them. So with my work, we go in and with my program, we go in and identify what's happening for you, which your subconscious will tell you, within, you know, hypnotherapy. But we then can get rid of it. Okay, so it's not a space of kind of needing to manage things, cope with things. It is a space of being able to get rid. Okay, so this is why it's such a powerful technique. So we can actually get rid of symptoms, get rid of limiting beliefs. What if you could stop the negative chatter that's happening for you, you know, and absolutely got this. Used to have it loads, still get it sometimes. You know, what if we could stop that negative chatter that continues for us, you know, drains our energy, because we're just hearing this negative chatter all the time about what we're not doing right, what we're not, you know, how we're not being the right person, you know, whether it will be our own negative chatter, but it could be from other people's voices as well when we were growing up. But what if we could just stop that, you know, get rid of that, replace it with something, so that actually we can learn to start trusting ourselves and trusting in our own abilities. You know, what if we could release the trauma? And as I say, you may not know necessarily that you're traumatized. I'll come on to that when I talk about my own healing journey. But, you know, if you're getting really triggered in life, if you're having big symptoms coming up, so, you know, anything like anxiety, depression, anger, insomnia, you know, hypervigilance, like super fear, anything really. But if you're having all of these big things coming up, you know, there could well be some trauma in there that needs to be cleared. You know, you may well know already that you have experienced trauma in life, sadly. But, you know, with this work, we can clear it. And there are hugely big, powerful transformations available for you with using hypnotherapy and, you know, looking at this program. And this program of mine is like a complete life overhaul package. Okay, I'll come on to that a bit more in a moment. But if you're ready now to completely unlock your true potential, you know, you're fed up with feeling like this, you're wanting to move into this space of peace and happiness, you know, freedom from whatever you're suffering from at the moment, whatever you're struggling with, then this program is for you. Surviving to Thriving is for you. Okay. I think I said at the start, yeah, I did. It's a 4-month program, which, depending on the level you join me at, you know, will incorporate various levels of one-to-one work with me. I can talk about that a little more at the end. But, you know, any questions as we go through, I can see people jumping on. Do ask me any questions as we go through. Also, I'm opening up some free 45-minute discovery calls where you can phone me, and then we'll set up a call on Zoom, and we can then talk through you know, where you are now, where you want to be, and actually I can let you know kind of what I can feel is happening for you at the moment, and actually what needs to be cleared, and talk you through the program as well to make sure that the program is right for you. Okay, so if you are in that space of thinking, oh my God, is this really all life has to offer? Then I completely get it. Okay, that's exactly where I was going back 14 years, you know, feeling really super broken, really a little bit too close to the edge for my own liking. Wasn't entirely sure if I couldn't find, you know, something to help me. I tried for many years to try and find the right therapy to help me. But if you're in that space, but also you may well be in a space of kind of feeling guilty for feeling that, you know, because on paper your life might be great, you know, to the outsider. You may be in a space where actually life on paper, life from the outside looks brilliant, but there's just this kind of inner turmoil that's happening for you in your own, you know, in your own mind, in your own life. You know, there may be destructive behaviors coming out. So for example, you know, I absolutely used to numb and control with food. So it would be from sort of binging to really restrictive dieting. Absolutely used to numb emotions with drinking too much, which then created this whole sort of storm of anger that used to come in. So if any of this resonates with you, then, you know, by all means, give me a shout. You may be experiencing self-sabotage. So you may be in a space of achieving something that you've always really wanted. You know, you may be in a really loving relationship, for example. This was my example, which was my main one. And, you know, you absolutely know that you are sabotaging that. You are doing everything possible to push, you know, these people away, or your new job away, or whatever it may be. But there's no controlling it. You know, you feel completely out of control whilst you're almost kind of watching your own behaviour on a screen and just thinking, for Christ's sake, just stop it, you know? And that in itself is so draining, you know. And these things will be run, again, by your subconscious. Your subconscious has learned a pattern that has helped you in the past, or it's learnt you know, to not feel safe, or to not trust other people, or whatever it may be. It's learned something that it is recreating for you. That is something that you consciously don't want. You know, you don't want that in your life now. And basically you don't have to live with it. It will carry on running these programs, and your subconscious is so much more powerful than your conscious mind. So unless you actually get in to have a look at what's happening first off and why, and then release it, you know, you're gonna keep going round this vicious circle in life, unfortunately. You know, it may be that you feel that there's some kind of fear that's holding you back in life. Again, this could be, like we talked about, imposter syndrome. It could be that, you know, you're not you know on one level that you're good enough, that you want to put yourself forward for a promotion perhaps, and actually there's a lot of evidence in life that you are very accomplished, you are very good at your jobs, you know, you've achieved a lot, but actually again we come back to this self sabotage, really, this subconscious belief that actually, but I'm not good enough, you know, or there's this fear that's holding you back. There's all sorts of things that, you know, that can come up, all sorts of limiting beliefs that can come up and just keep us, you know, behind those invisible walls, you know, blocked in our own minds, really, in our own worlds. And as I say, there may be unhealed trauma, but there also may be, if you have a lot of drama in your life, very much guilty in the past, again, there could be some, you know, strong subconscious blocks there that are creating this drama, you know, and that drama in itself is blinking exhausting. You know, so there are so many different elements to this. I feel like I'm repeating myself a little bit, but you know, if you are in that space of thinking, and actually thinking, but I've tried so many things, you know, again, I was in this space, I've tried therapies, I've tried medication, I've tried all of these things, and I used to feel desperate, but also really angry that I was trying to find some answers to help myself and I couldn't find the fucking answers anywhere. And thankfully fell into hypnotherapy at my most broken point, which is where my healing, my true healing, all began. And this is why I'm a hypnotherapist now, basically, because I want to help other women who may be in this similar space. Okay, so please, even though it possibly feels like the furthest thing away from you at this moment, please know that, you know, a life of love, happiness, abundance, real fulfillment, and really feeling like your true self, please know that that is out there, you know, that is achievable. And I completely understand I completely understand that it's, you know, could just feel almost impossible to get there. I get it. You know, I was in a space of wanting a life of kind of happiness and harmony where things just flowed and it was easy, and I just always had this dream almost, but I wasn't entirely sure I was ever going to get there or that I deserved it. So I want to reassure anybody, any ladies who are really struggling at the moment, that let me tell you, it is out there, you know, and I've been through this healing journey myself. So as I said at the start, this program is all about bringing all of the things that I've learned over the 14 years of my, or from the 14 years ago when I started my healing journey, bringing it all into one full 5-month program, depending if we get the if we have the free bonus month that we do at the moment. So as I say, this is like a complete life overhaul program. So it's all the various bits. You know, you can have hypnotherapy separately as a separate treatment, and that's what I had for my healing journey. And that is, you know, that will work well to unlock things. But the thought behind my program is to bring together a really holistic approach. So with the VIP level of the program specifically, you know, we will work a lot together on the hypnotherapy side to unlock all of that suffering, all of the limiting beliefs that are happening for you. You know, we are going to unlock all of that stuff that's lurking around for you. And it will be, you know, it'll be sort of intensive hypnotherapy sessions, but then the program is also bringing in all the other elements that I've learned that, you know, give you that real sort of life overhaul, that real holistic approach to it, so that you are in a space of having unlocked a load of stuff, but also knowing how to kind of grow and set your life up, so that, you know, you don't, so that it's so that you can just basically self-manage really, so you can unlock all the pain. You know, you can feel into this world of kind of love, happiness, whatever it is, your thriving life, and then, you know, you can maintain that. You can I'm going to teach you all sorts of tools that you can use, so that, you know, this is an ongoing learning, so that so you move from this space of, you know, feeling stuck, but you've learned all the techniques you need to, so that you can, you know, have this world of more, and you know how to kind of work them with life's ups and downs, and you know how to help yourself with energy. You know how to work with the law of attraction and those sorts of things. You know how to work with showing yourself more love, so that you're connecting with the right people. You know, we will talk about sort of your career, your business, you know, and actually feeling, so that you can find that true, authentic you, okay, which is in there, but it gets squashed down and suppressed, and, you know, shit happens, and we almost get the real us almost gets boxed up, you know, and can't then kind of express herself and express her power and really, really fucking enjoy life, okay. So my own journey was, I experienced childhood sexual abuse, so I know I have knowledge of kind of all the like after effects of that, and how it impacts your life going forwards, but the real sort of symptoms when I felt at my most broken, the main symptom that I was having was chronic insomnia, and, you know, really not sleeping much every night, just broken, exhausted. You know, there's anxiety, depression, huge amounts of fear going on for me, and I just felt like I was going mad, okay. But I went to hypnotherapy with those symptoms without really realizing that I was traumatized. I thought that I dealt consciously with the effects of the trauma, the abuse, and actually the other knock-on effects that had throughout my life as well. I thought I dealt with it all, but the wonderful thing about the mind is that it will take you to the point it knows that you need to work with. So my very first hypnotherapy session was so powerful, so transformational, and I went in talking about, you know, needing to release this insomnia, and we went straight to the point of, you know, working out that trauma, so releasing that trauma. And I can honestly tell you, you know, that first session, I was completely blown away, you know, and from the very first sessions, there were big transformations that were starting to happen for me. You know, I couldn't sleep in a house on my own at the age of 29, you know, something you would expect to be able to do previous to the therapy, and really quickly within those first few sessions I could start to settle at night, you know, and all that came down to was the and what that came down to, sorry, was that the, you know, my inner child, a little me, that is part of our subconscious mind, was absolutely fucking terrified going to bed, because, you know, these experiences that I'd had happened in my house, in my bedroom. So quite naturally, you know, because that had never actually been processed, my subconscious is still thinking, don't go to bed, it's scary. Okay. Any questions around any of this, as I say, please do drop me a note, you know, drop me a private message if you'd rather than talk about it in the comments. But if you want to comment as we go through, you know, put any comments or on the replay, then do so, and I'll come back to you. So yeah, there was a lot of there were a lot of coping mechanisms that I'd put in place as well, to kind of get through every day, if I'm honest. So with my work with my clients, we look at those as well, because that was something that I needed to release. So I definitely had a dependency on alcohol to try and help myself sleep, but also to just kind of numb everything and to feel like everything was a bit more normal. You know, if I'd had too much wine, life felt a bit more normal, until it got to the point where a whole burst of anger came out, and then there's a whole world of guilt came out, and it was, you know, it was just blinking chaos. Anyway, so if you're in a space of you know, feeling this desperation, but also thinking, I am not going to be broken by this, you know, it is time to move forwards, then you know, there are really powerful transformations that are out there for you. You know, hypnotherapy for me was just such wonderful therapy, and my program uses kind of a unique blend of hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, coaching, and we bring that all together, as I say, in one program. So that this same transformation that, you know, I've experienced is out there for you if you're in that space of being 100% determined to make change. Okay, you have to want it. Hypnotherapy isn't a quick fix, but there are whopping great transformations out there available for you if if you're in that space of thinking, fuck this, I am not going on for another day feeling like this, something has to change, then give me a shout. You know, I've got free 45-minute phone calls where Zoom calls, I keep saying phone calls today, they've never been phone calls. You can book a free 45-minute Zoom call so that we can jump on and actually talk about what's happening for you. Okay, so you can talk to me about anything you want to, and we can talk about, you know, how we can work within the program to release whatever's happening for you and create these massive transformations. You know, you create these massive transformations for yourself. So do give me a call, ask me any questions. More than open to, you know, any questions on Messenger or well, this will be Messenger, you know, through my website. If you want to have a look at my website, it's annarushmer.co.uk. My email address will be on there. So just get in contact, we can have a chat. You know, there's no obligation to it. It's just that I'm on an absolute mission to help women to know and then do, you know that you can smash through this suffering, this struggling that you may be feeling. This is not how life has to be for you. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. Give me a shout if you want to have a chat, and then have a good rest of your Friday and a lovely weekend. Take care, lots of love, bye.